to my channel. I cannot tell you how many times I've tried to record this video and it's been rough. So, grab your drink. Today, my drink of choice is spiked seltzer because why the hell not? I deserve it. So, I am gonna booze today. As you can tell by the title, it's gonna be a little bit of a difficult video for me. But to be completely honest with you, I feel like this is something that needs to be talked about because quite frankly, I couldn't find any information regarding what I was going through. Yeah, anyways, so I went through a chemical pregnancy or chemical miscarriage, whatever it is that you want to call it. Point being, I was pregnant and then I wasn't. So to that, I will drink. It was rough. So a little sneaky secret I kept from you guys. I was actually pregnant in the last video that I posted, and I knew I was pregnant. I had taken so many tests, and that's what sparked me to go forward and make these videos because I wanted to show and document my experience along the way, whether that's good or bad, and fortunately it's the latter for me. So something that I want to talk to you about is just my personal story about my chemical pregnancy, because it is extremely difficult to find information about chemical pregnancies because it's not technically a medical term, but it's something that I learned along the way. I Googled, I researched, I did a lot of searching online to get some answers, and I feel like this video is going to be my homage to the women going through what I'm going through or think that they're going through what I went through, just to get some answers and some insight, because not every pregnancy, not every miscarriage is the same. So a miscarriage, according to Google, it's a loss of pregnancy after 6 weeks, and that is what's deemed a miscarriage. I, on the other hand, had a miscarriage at 4.5 weeks. And apparently there's a big difference, and I wasn't aware of that. So I was Googling, am I having a miscarriage? What does a miscarriage look like? What does it feel like? And I just wasn't getting any solidified answers. I wasn't getting any kind of information that was even close to what I was going through. So this is my story. So my partner and I, Adrian, we decided to try for a baby, and we were extremely blessed and lucky to conceive on the second cycle. And we were over the moon excited. We were thrilled that it was so, I guess, easy. I say that humbly because I know that just because I could get pregnant doesn't mean I was meant to stay pregnant. So with that being said, we got pregnant on the second try, and so happy, extremely happy. I went and bought all the pregnancy books. I bought what to eat when you're pregnant, what to expect when you're pregnant, and just any baby book you can think of. Yeah. I think I actually had an Amazon cheapie. So I took that later on in the afternoon, like 7 o'clock, and there was a line. So I flipped out and I told my boyfriend, we need to go to the store right now. We need to buy all the pregnancy tests that we can buy. I think I'm pregnant. So we go to Walmart and I buy Clear Blue Digital and the first response early results. Yeah. So I got the one that detects early, and I got the digital, like I said. And I took the first response, and it was positive. And there was no denying it at all whatsoever. You can see it from like a mile away. There were 2 lines, and I was thrilled. I was for loss of words. I couldn't believe it. So I showed my boyfriend, and he got super excited, and I didn't have any self-control, and I took a digital, but that one really pissed me off because that one said not pregnant, and I was gutted. Like, I felt like, first response played me. This is a false positive. I'm not pregnant. This is great. And I remember somebody kept telling me to just keep testing, just the next day keep testing. And my lines were progressively getting like a smidge darker, like a hair darker. And that concerned me. And I couldn't understand why my tests weren't looking like the other Google images I was looking at for how many days past ovulation that I was. For being like 10 DPO, 11, 12 DPO, my pregnancy tests weren't getting any darker, but they were dark, they were there. And I remember just feeling really uncertain and kind of nervous and scared that this may not be a viable pregnancy. I had one digital left, and that's all I wanted to know and see the words pregnant. And I was debating about whether I should take it or not, because I don't want to take it too early. I don't want to waste the digital because they're not cheap. So I gathered the courage and I went to the bathroom and I took the test and it said pregnant. And I went to bed Saturday night and there was red blood when I wiped. It wasn't a lot, it was very watery, almost pink actually now that I think about it. And I knew it in my heart. I knew that it wasn't going to be a viable pregnancy. So I went to bed Saturday night with the annoying feeling that this is not it for us. Woke up Sunday and the red spotting was just spotting. It wasn't anything more. It was there, but it wasn't getting heavier and it wasn't accompanied by cramps or anything like that. It was just only when I wiped, but definitely red, no longer brown. Went to bed Sunday night and I knew it in my heart saying that this is it. There's no way that me being so early on, this is going to be a viable pregnancy with the amount of like spotting that's occurring. So my boyfriend just held me extra tight that night, and I remember I sent my boyfriend out like midnight to go buy another pack of pregnancy tests because I knew that I was losing the baby. My boobs stopped hurting and I wasn't gagging anymore when I was brushing my teeth, and took the test and the tests got lighter. They were getting lighter than before. And I knew it. I knew I was miscarrying and there was nothing that I could do about it. Went to work the next day and that's when I started the actual proper miscarriage. And I went to work on Monday expecting the worst, and the worst came, and the miscarriage, or I guess technically my period came. But it was a lot heavier than my normal periods. It was a lot more painful, a lot more cramping, a lot more clots. And I remember going to the bathroom at work and wiping and seeing how thick and big the clots are, and there were no discernible like sac or baby, because there really wasn't a baby. It was just maybe the size of like a poppy seed. I don't know. There was no like physical sight that I could recognize, yeah, that's a miscarriage. But obviously clots and tissues that I were passing were obviously saying something else. And I remember just putting on a brave face at work, pretending like nothing was wrong, cracking up, smiling, joking with my coworkers, but inside I was in agony. And I work part-time, so luckily I wasn't there for a full day. And I went home and I cried as soon as I got into my car. I cried the entire way home. I sat in my driveway and I cried a little bit more, and I walked to my house and I cried my life away. And I just sank into my boyfriend's arms and he just held me, and I cried and I cried and I cried. We both knew that this was the outcome. We weren't going to have a baby out of this. And fell asleep, and I woke up the next day and the blood got a lot heavier. And I was at work, and I remember feeling like a very sudden like lightning bolt feeling, what I can assume was my cervix. And it was like a sudden pinch, like a lightning bolt struck my uterus, struck my cervix, and it was gone. As fast as it came, it was gone. And I remember thinking that was extremely weird. I don't know what that was. So I went to the bathroom and I checked when I wiped. And if you've had a miscarriage or you think you're having a miscarriage, you get very familiar with your wiped toilet paper. I'm not even gonna deny it. I'm not even ashamed to admit it, because I know for a fact that if you're going through this or thought you were going through this, you're examining what you're seeing on that toilet paper. So that's exactly what I was doing. And I saw tissue, and the tissue that I was looking at looked like what I could assume to be veins. So I pretty sure it's safe to say that what I passed was the placenta. It was very small and it was thicker, and it was definitely not a clot. And I remember thinking, this might be TMI, it might be gross, you may judge me, whatever. But I remember thinking, I need to take this home so I can look at it and figure out what this is. Because if I'm not pregnant, this shouldn't be coming out. And if I am pregnant, this is most likely a miscarriage, and I need to get this situated. Because I couldn't look up bloody toilet paper while I was at work. You know, like my coworkers would see, my bosses would see. So I wanted to do this privately. So I put it in a Ziploc bag and I kept it, and I went home and put it in a little jar of saline solution. And I read that if the clot or the mass dissipates, it was only clot blood, but if tissue remains, then most likely just fetal tissue and you miscarried. And I remember thinking, please just let this be a weird fluke, and please let me walk in and look at that cup and see nothing there. But unfortunately, it made the placenta a lot more clear and a lot more like, I know what I'm looking at now. And it looked like a small itty bitty sac, very, very small, like almost like a deflated water balloon. And attached to it was, it looked like a fuzzy, like small fuzzy raspberry. And I don't know if that's where the placenta was attached to my uterus, or I didn't know what or how it worked, but there was definitely like a small little piece of tissue with like a little string, maybe the umbilical cord, I don't know, a little string, and then like the fuzzy raspberry. So I passed two blobs connected by a short little string, and I showed my boyfriend, and he says, yeah, I see the veins, I see what you're talking about, and I think that this is it. So cried even more, and I just let it be. You know, there's no need for me to be even more distraught than I already have. I can't change what I can't change. Just accept the fact that this is my fate and this is the outcome of this pregnancy. And to make it worse, before I started to miscarry, I was ordering all these free sample packs for baby samples and diaper products and like baby formula and bottles and all that stuff, and they were coming in the mail. And I remember yesterday I was recording or trying to record this video, and I got a knock on the door, my doorbell rang. That mail lady was dropping off my my Walmart welcome to your registry sample bag. So that was a nice FU from the universe. So anyways, I am now done bleeding, and my chemical pregnancy was essentially just the length of my period, just a little bit more painful than my average period. Pretty sure it was a complete miscarriage, or whatever you want to call it, a chemical pregnancy miscarriage. I'm no longer bleeding, I'm not passing any tissue like that, I don't have any fever, so I'm pretty sure I'm just done. And I am excited about that, just to close this chapter and move on to the next cycle, in hopes that, you know, a little bean comes out of this and sticks with us, and at the end of that 9-month trial we end up with a baby in our arms. And if you're going through this, if you think that you're going through this, or if you have gone through this, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's all I can really say. And you know, I pray that one day you get the outcome that you're looking for. Whether that's a rainbow baby, or your second rainbow baby, or whatever the circumstances are, whether you're a mom for the first time or the 10th time. It doesn't get any easier, and it sucks. It hurts, and my heart goes out to all of the ladies that, you know, are in pain. But you're not alone, and we can get through this, and we will have our rainbow. I'm sure of it. So sorry for the delay. My leave of absence last week was because I was in the throes of my chemical pregnancy, but I will remain on schedule with the videos and go on to showing my tracking of my ovulation and the DPO symptoms, and then going on to pregnancy testing. So fingers crossed this is our month, and if not, fingers crossed that it happens soon. So that is it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment if you've gone through this, or if you think that you're going through this. We can help each other out and give you my 2 cents on what I think could be happening or what I went through. But that is it for now, and I hope you guys have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye guys.